the final part of our community-based security series, we explore more areas in the southeast, north central, and the northeast. The restiveness in the southeast got intense in the last few months. Houses burned, police formations attacked, and other security agencies were not spared as the violence was spreading. The security situation deteriorated in Anambra State, and the government had to figure out how to develop a security architecture at the local level. On March 31 this year, exactly 2 weeks after Professor Chukwuma Soludo was sworn in as the governor, Asanis attacked Nnewi North local government and killed a security guard. They burned down several structures. It was a brazen attack perceived to diminish the new governor's resolve to tackle insecurity, which seemed to be increasing at the time.
It's a very sad moment. Sad moment to say Asan. Whatever may be the cause, I think that needs to be ascertained. But the report so far is that some people invaded this place. Probably about early hours of the morning, 12:30 a.m. and shot someone. I think they killed. They killed a security man, and to be able to have access. So it's people who came in with intent to commit arson. Whatever may be the thing of protest, arson and bloodletting cannot be part of it. Arson and bloodletting cannot be part of it. Because that way you are impoverishing the people. The money that should have been used to hire teachers, the money that should have been used to pave roads, the money that should have been used to provide water, the money that should have been used to provide the basics to the people, will now be used to start rebuilding the buildings. Yes. Who is the loser? Who loses? We. The ordinary man in the street. Yeah. Is the loser. This is just mindless idiocy. We've come, we've seen, and I think the security agencies will get to the bottom of it. But I tell you not to despair. No amount of arson or bloodletting will bring down the spirit of Anambra. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. We are strong and we'll keep getting stronger. Yes, sir. And I think that is the message. We will overcome all of this. Yes, sir. There is no way evil can triumph over good.
1 week after, the arson struck again at Agwata local government secretariat in what may be described as a retaliatory attack. They burnt down the secretariat building, destroying several vehicles and motorcycles. These attacks, in addition to other killings and kidnapping incidents across the state, moved the government to re-strategize and improve the security architecture of the state with a special focus on a community-based approach. Now, every community is charged to take ownership of the security of their areas, as the state has established a structure that allows definite roles to be played accordingly, from the traditional rulers to the community vigilante services. Anambra State Association of Town Unions, ASATU, is the umbrella body that unites the 179 communities in Anambra State. They play critical security roles as crimes are not committed in thin air but in places within communities.
We first of all, appreciate the fact that security is every man's business. That is the fundamental thing. Once you appreciate that fact, the problem is half solved, because it deals with willingness and readiness to give out vital information. The major thing is ability to give information. Another thing is, the readiness to harness that information and put it into use. and also protect the identity of the informant. It goes a long way to encourage people to deal with it. And the state is assisting the communities readily in making sure that we have good security in the communities, various communities. They empowers the vigilante. They also have a kind of we introduce what we call Asatu safety guard. You don't know that they exist, but they are the people that work so hard with the vigilante to ensure that we have adequate security in our area. We also have a kind of a synergy among the security men within the communities. If something is happening in one community, the neighboring town will be ready to assist. Once you call on them, they will be ready to come into the community and assist, and also pass information to the police, all these security agencies. There was a time the issue of security is, everywhere. Everybody talks about it. We have serious challenges, killings almost on daily basis in the communities, because everything about state is community.
Remain like that.
Every road you pass through to get to another point is within a community. So every attack must be in the community. It depends whether the community is in urban area or rural area. So, but, before and after the gubernatorial election in Anambra State last year, we experienced high rate of crime in the state. But with the emergency of Mr. Governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Oludo, he started tackling the issue. And I must tell you that today, things are, getting to normal. Normal is returning to the state gradually.
Amobia community in Oka South local government is one of the communities in the Oka Capital Territory with an estimated population with over 500,000 people. Due to its proximity to the state's capital, a lot of activities go on there.
Second line, move, ready to jog.
A strong community vigilante service is one of the things the community leadership takes seriously.
In terms of our structure, what we have done as a town is then to be able to say, security, we have vigilante at two levels. So we have the town security, the town vigilante, and then we have the village vigilante. So within the villages, we also have the same team you're seeing. They are the first response in terms of issues coming from the villages. Now, the town vigilante provide a backup, and part of the stuff we try to do is to ensure that we build capabilities to enable them to provide those response. So, for example, their vehicles, their motorcycles, are some of the things we try to make sure that they are functional and they are working and we're able to respond. Now, we have also seen that at times when these vandals come around, they tend to stay around the border towns. So what we have also done as a PG, what I've done is basically to engage with PGs of neighboring towns like Enugu Agidi, Northia, to ensure that we have a holistic approach, inter-community patrol approaches. So these are some of the things we've done to ensure that we do not make it easy for anybody that wants to stay at the fringes to be able to operate.
First line, move. First line, move.
Despite the established structure, there are challenges confronting the community vigilante service. Bauchi Fulani is a suburb of Bauchi and a neighboring community of the Federal Polytechnic. Some staff and students of the Polytechnic reside here. A year ago, Residents of the community blocked commuters from plying the Bauchi-Das road for some hours in protest of growing insecurity in the area. The abduction of a woman with 3 children prompted the demonstration, and they hit the street to get the government's attention.
Our men don't just used to sleep at night. They'll go around in the afternoon hustling because of us. Instead of them to rest in the night, they can't sleep at night because they are afraid any moment they can come and pick anybody. So that is why we are here, and we want government to do something about it.
We patrol this entire area. There are so many of us, and when something goes wrong in nearby communities, our members over there always contact us, and we are quick to respond. If it requires going into the forest, we do not hesitate. The work also includes going after petty thieves in the neighborhood. We have been succeeding in our efforts. Whenever we make arrests, we hand the offenders over to the police, and that's where our mandate ends. When the woman was abducted, it was raining on the day the kidnappers came. We tried our best to rescue her after the incident was reported in our office. Immediately we received the news, we went out searching that night, and even days after for about a week. The woman's husband was also in touch with us during that period, and honestly, we did our best to see that the perpetrators were apprehended and that she returned safely. There are so many challenges limiting our efforts. Our work is voluntary, and it requires that we have at least motorcycles to carry out operations. Sometimes we rent or borrow bikes for patrols and operations because there are places we can't go on foot. We have gone deep into the forest several times, and we have been able to access the kidnappers' hideouts on some occasions. There are days we act based on tip-offs of unscrupulous activities, and when we get to the locations, the criminals have fled. Other times, they return after we leave. We have patrolled so many forests. I remember a time we went to the forest around Das local government area. On one of the rocks, we saw a cave which served as their den. We recovered exhibits such as eye masks, ropes, bows and arrows, amongst other items, and we took them to our headquarters. During the period of our raids, the activities were minimized. Sometimes we get money from our chairman, other times we contribute to buy fuel in the bikes for patrols. Some members of the community also cook for us as a way to show appreciation. I call on the government to support us with bikes and vehicles. This job requires consolidation since it's voluntary. At times, we return to a rousing welcome from the community, and they shower us with praises and prayers. This kind of gestures motivates us to do more. If we can get means of transportation as support, it will go a long way towards making things easy.
The woman's abduction incident was the last of such major challenge heard of till date. The community is relying on the Danga vigilante to provide security in the area, even though the group had been in existence before the current situation. The Danga Vigilante Group in Bauchi is a branch out of several branches across communities that make up the Danga Voluntary Security Outfit in Bauchi State. The group and its members are registered despite lack of incentives. And still attracts membership across the communities. It's a self-motivated endeavor in order to keep self, family, and others safe. The community sets out on random patrol in the nooks and crannies of the area. They also cover neighboring communities from time to time. Sometimes the patrols are based on tip-offs.
We are not happy with the things happening around us. We're suffering too much, and we're begging the government to help us and make life better for us here in Marabanvido. Though we have been prayed, but we have a lot of challenges which we can't bear all. We ask the government to come to our aid and protect lives and property. We barely sleep at night, and live like we don't have a government. Cost of living is currently high. We can't afford hospital bills. I'm taking my child to the hospital now, and I don't even have money to pay, and I can't sleep well at night. They are trying their best, just that the bandits have more weapons than the security agents.
Kungiyar danga dai ina ganin tana ɗaya daga cikin kungiyar sa kai wanda take da ƙarfi.
Bauchi is located near rocky terrains and bushy areas, usual hideout locations for criminals. Operations in areas like this often require commuting on vehicles and motorbikes, and this is one of the challenges affecting the group. The vehicle used for the operation is borrowed from the head office, and the motorbikes are owned mostly by individuals and are not always available. From the northeast to the north central. Following the rising insecurity orchestrated by bandits and kidnappers in Kaduna and other parts of the northwest zone, residents of the affected communities have resorted to self-help by forming vigilante groups across villages to prevent attacks. Giwa, Chikun, Zaria, Beningwari, Kajuru, Zango Kataf, Igabi, Jema and Kacha are the areas mostly hit by the wave of banditry. The kind of attacks in these rural areas are mostly driven by the criminal intent to kill, while in the semi-urban communities it is motivated by the quest for economic accumulation through kidnapping for ransom. Such act of criminality has drastically affected farming and other socio-economic activities in the rural communities as people abandon their homes and farmlands to safer places. This is Maraban Rido, a semi-urban community in Chikun local government area in Kaduna Central Senatorial District. The community is situated along the Kaduna-Kacha Road has also been hit severally with deadly attacks.
Really, this community, Marabarido, this more than 3 years we have been attacking. More than 30 people have been killed because of this insecurity in Marabarido. And almost like last year, it's almost every week they came here to pack people and go. So it's only last year, with the help of the staff force, we've been attacking reduced more. But as per last 3 years, really, even people have run away. They have left their houses, run away and leave Marabarido because of the insecurity. Really, we thank God for the JTF, I would say, because we are a community security-based community, and we are based in the community. And with the help of those who contribute and voluntarily to assist and to help the community, we are doing our best. Even last 3 days back, we received a message from the headquarters that they are around Marabarido. So we sleep around the edges of the Marabarido. And last week, Tuesday, they came here around Angwaluka site, and they picked 3, killed 2 people. So we always try to be alert in any time, because we know really they are coming. When they started, they always be around 11, 12. But now they change the time. 8 o'clock they will start the operation. Like the last one they did last week is 8 o'clock. They enter. So they don't have physical time that they will come. They can come as early, they can come in the night. But anything from 2, if you see they operate by 2, that means they went to somewhere and they didn't succeed. So if they are coming back, they enter Marabarido. And our patrol is done in the daytime. We don't do patrol in the daytime because the work of our work now is based on this kidnapping issue. Our principal work is not for this, but as this kidnapping came, we do. And we didn't patrol in the town because our patrol in town didn't do anything. We patrol outside the skin, especially the outside all these small village. They are around the Marabarido. Let me just tell you, almost 20 small villages around Marabarido is empty now because they don't pursue everyone. So those people are now inside the Marabarido. What we do, we always go outside the Marabarido, that's around the area, to cover, to wait if they are coming with me. But the problem there is we have informal within ourselves. That if we are on this side, they can call them to operate on the other side. That is our problem now. But if not the informal, really we are trying, we don't patrol in the daytime. In the daytime we do with this or other local cases. But in this kidnapping is night. Anything from 6 o'clock, you will not meet us in the office. We are not in the bush.
The people here are going about their businesses and it appears all is going well, but it's a different ball game at night. Residents no longer sleep with their 2 eyes closed.
For a while I've been staying here. I believe there is some location around Marabarido that is on daily occurring events that bandits always attack such areas. By God's grace, I think GTF has done us well. They mount some checkpoints there that army stays, and but despite that, the bandits still attack when the army, I think when they are not there or they are not aware, they attacked even the hours that you least expect. Maybe they attacked sometimes in the late hours, sometimes in the early hours of 8, 12. So they don't have specific time of their events. I think you personally, you also have to be vigilant on your own. You should have to be security conscious of your own, because they said to every man that is living in a territory, you have to be a watch person. That's what we are facing. On your own, you just have to be vigilant and you just have to be watchful. I believe by doing so, we can be helpful even to the vigilante and to our society. I believe when it comes to attack, the easiest people we get connected to is the GTF, because they are within, and I think by 8, I used to see them. By 9, I used to see them at our market environment, trying to block some areas that bike used to park on late hours. So I believe but their challenges, I think their challenges is the vehicle that's coming in time when they needed them. I think that's one of our challenges. I think they need to equip those people because they are the local, they know this area very well. They need to equip them with arms and with the valuable resources that they need to put their work in order. I believe we'll achieve this insecurity challenge to surely come to an end.
Some residents have also devised a means of staying in their homes during the day and moving to other places to sleep at night. Their attempt at avoiding being a victim of bandits' attacks. In the satellite towns and other several rural communities located mostly on the outskirts of the metropolis, vigilante groups are now an integral part of the security system and working closely with official security agencies. The operations of local vigilantes, popularly known as the civilian JTF, are mostly at night, but their operations are limited by the lack of support and weapons that can match the bandits, who are armed to the teeth. On the final part of our community-based security series, we explore more areas in the southeast, north central, and the northeast.